Got a stiff neck if anything.
Okay.
Thanks.
Um, all right. We're going to work really gently. So, okay.
Got a stiff neck if anything.
Oh, here we go. Okay, we should be good to go. And here we are, stiff neck. We'll work with that. Just coming into a landing with yourself. I have a partner on my blanket who is right there, taking over the space for my knees to be on the blanket. I have to adjust to my little partner. So letting yourself come in for a landing with your body. And as I have this little cat here who I am adjusting my life for, adjust yourself for yourself. Like, give yourself whatever it is that you need to be comfortable, to get that extra. Sometimes people think, oh no, it's okay, I can just put up with the thing as it is. Don't put up with the thing as it is. If you can be more comfortable, do whatever it is to be more comfortable throughout this whole time. So coming in for a landing, I'm going to start with a hand on my chest and a hand on my belly. Feeling what it's like to feel into my own being. And as I'm in there, I'm also feeling into the gravitational pull of the earth, feeling the natural sense of what is underneath me, what is below me, and where is down. And throughout this session, I'm going to really settle into the downness. So there's nothing that I need to pick up and away or hold up or lift up. For right now, I'm going to let myself really sink and settle into being a person on the ground, whether I'm seated, laying down, and you can do this in any way that feels good for you. So when we go into our somatic inquiry, it means that we are going into the sensations of being, the experience of being in our bodies, just to experience what's going on. There isn't a right or a wrong here. And when we come into the inquiry practice, it's almost like there is no answer. Like we're just coming in to see what is, and everything is in this constant flow of life, shifting, changing, adjusting, the constant movement of being in this moment, which is just always shifting. So allowing the moment to be here in whatever way that it's here for you, whatever way it's in your body, whether you've got a little buddy sharing the moment with you, or you're in your own space by yourself, but here we are together in this moment in time. And just breathing into that, landing into that. Feeling what it feels like to be a human in a body, or maybe you feel like an alien in a body. Feeling what it feels like to be in this living, organic body-mind system that we're in. And as you're in there, inviting all your senses online. So I can hear the air conditioner in the other room. I can hear other sounds from outside of the house. There's all sorts of house sounds going on. I can hear my voice. I can feel the heat of this heat wave we're in. And I can feel sort of tingly excitement in my body also. Almost like the pre-smiling feeling of my face. Like, what is that? What are the feelings of the next expression that might be coming through you? So just feeling into whatever's arising and let it arise. And then we're just going to take the tiniest, tiny little no. The tiniest, tiny little no that is so small that you can barely tell that you're moving. And in that tiny, tiny little no, let your cranium really rest atop your body. Sometimes I've seen those big, there's one in Vancouver along the seawall, one of those big like granite balls that's nested in water and kind of moving because it's in this water. So imagine that your head is like that ball on top of this water, which in a way our discs are kind of like that, but there's this support, this fluid support in your body. Tuning into the fluid support of your body. And with the tiniest movement, letting that fluid support renegotiate the inner space of your head and neck and spine. Just a little, it doesn't have to be a lot, but as we do that tiny, tiny movement, we're giving space to our cerebrospinal fluid to renegotiate the space, to the interstitium, the fluid that's sort of our fluid-filled body. And it's continuous in our whole body, this fluid, right? And it knows what the fluid in my skin up here knows, the fluid in my feet know. So the fluid in my body is continuous, it's energetic. The energy moving through my body is in that. In other places too, but that's like one form of my energy system. It held current. It's moving through the fluids in my body. And I was just in the British Fascia Symposium over the weekend, and this was the big news. Interstitium, electric field of our body, whatever's going on, like in our chakras or our chi, our hara, it's in that fluid-filled body. So we want to imagine that the fluid has complete access to our whole body, and it does. Like even the things that we think of as barriers, our skin, the blood-brain barrier, it's not a barrier for the fluid. The fluid can move through it and does. So thinking of this wholeness pattern of our energetic system and the fluid in our body bathing us on the inside. It's taking away waste. Our lymphatic fluid comes out of that. And it's supporting us. We are fluid filled. So tuning into that fluid filled nature of your body, the water of your body. And there's nothing that you have to do to it. You can just be aware of it. You don't have to shift it, change it, fix it. It's just there, supporting you. So breathing into that support. And feeling whatever you feel. Offering your system this moment to drop into the experience of being and to allow expression to bubble up in any way that it needs to. And the expression might just be, I'm relaxing, I'm letting go, or it might be, well, there's some stuff here that I'm going to let move through me. It could be anything. So just inviting yourself into your system in a relatively safe way. And knowing that anytime you want, you can stop. This is your moment to be with yourself in your body, and you can listen to what I'm saying and go with it, or do something totally different, whatever feels good to you. And we're going to move with that. Maybe there's still a little bit of that no going on for you. Try a tiny, tiny little yes, and let's add a theta breath. So it could be no that feels good, or it could be yes, or it could be some other movement of that ball of your head on top of your body, just supported. And we'll do a theta breath. It's a very soft hiss with your tongue just behind your lips or just behind your teeth, extending your exhale. And then you'll inhale whenever you want to, take resting breaths whenever you want, and come back to theta whenever you want. Really honoring your body in the sense that when you need to inhale again, take the inhale. If you need to take resting breaths, take them. There's no need to push yourself in any way. Listening and honoring what feels good in your body. Oh, I need to lay down, lay down. I want to go to all fours, go to all fours. I want to walk around, walk around. Do whatever it is that feels right to you. Honoring the intelligence of your own body-mind system. As soon as I start to do that little micro movement in my head with the yes or the no, all sorts of awarenesses arise along my central channel. So we could say it's my spine, my spinal cord, or we could say it's just the energetic space of my central channel where I'm starting to notice things percolating and bubbling and coming online. Allowing your gut body to soften. If you're holding tension in your belly or in your butt, in your pelvic floor, just relax that as much as possible, letting go. Letting yourself land on the earth. You belong here. Allowing yourself to slow down, down-regulate, coming into a parasympathetic state, rest and digest, soothe, settle. I'm going to let my hands go, and I'm just going to work with some micro movement in my whole torso. But I'm going to try and do it in as relaxed as possible a way. If I had a place that was hurting, I might just put a little bit of hands on there. For right now, I don't really have any pain, but hands can go on neck, shoulders, other hand, wherever. I actually burnt myself today, but I was holding an ice cube for at least half an hour afterwards, and it seems to have repaired. So inviting in the intelligence of your cells, the intelligence of the fluids in your system, which your body is a fluid-filled system. Even your bones are wet. And inviting that fluid in your system to adjust, to move, to squish around, to wave in any way, as big or small as feels good. And I'm actually sitting on this squished physio ball. It's a small one. It's like a medium-sized one. And so it gives me a lot of freedom for my pelvis. So I'm kind of playing into the relationship between the big bony structure of my pelvic bowl, pelvis, and the contents, rib cage, heart, lungs, and my thorax, and then also my brain, cranium. So these three big bony structures that are supporting our organs and our bodies, our tissues, just feeling the interplay between them. And sometimes the fluid movement feels like a river, and sometimes like it even feels like almost like, I want to say like an avalanche. You've seen the big images of the glaciers as they sort of fall. So sometimes I have this feeling in my body of this downness and like things coming down to the ground. So however the water is playing out in your body, and it could change that bubbly, effervescent feeling into like bigger flows, just allow it to express. Trust the intelligence of your own system. That on some very deep level, your body-mind knows what it knows. And that could be about healing, it could be about accepting, deepening your experience. And let's work with a hum sound. So the hum, you could do this in stillness or with little micro movement. The hum sound is going to, I'm going to allow my tongue to kind of undulate in my mouth. So that creates, for me, inside my head, overtones. Maybe you'll hear them, maybe you won't. And the same thing for yourself. It may or may not happen. But it's not about that happening. It's about sending this vibration through your tissues and fluids. And as we send that vibration through, it's unavoidable that it's reaching us on this vibrational level, right? We might not sense that, we might not feel it. You can always put hands on if you want to feel it more. So we'll go with the hum. After you hum for a little while, inhale whenever you feel like you need to. Again, take resting breaths whenever you want. This is going to increase the production of nitric oxide in our blood, which as we hum, the sinuses in our faces, the turbines in our nose create this nitric oxide. Then we inhale it in and it moves into our blood. It's an antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, vasodilator. So it's good at helping move things around our inner body, blood, but also fluids. So we'll just work with the hum, letting it go whenever you feel like you're ready to let it go. Listen to my hum, let go of it, just however it works for you. I'm also kind of moving around my interface, like if I can sort of feel like I can bring the sound more in and down or more up and high, and I'm letting it into the sort of dome of my head or back towards the back of my head and kind of down into my chest cavity. That's my sensation of it as I play with it. So let yourself sort of play with the locations of the sound if that's accessible. If not, don't worry and just hum. If I separate my teeth and kind of drop my jaw, that's when I feel like the sound can go down easier. And then when I close my mouth and my tongue comes to the roof of my mouth, it comes more up into my cheekbones and maybe the dome of my head. And I can also feel it sort of move forward and backward depending on how I'm holding my mouth. So let yourself play with that. Just, there's not a right or a wrong. Let it be free and playful. Imagining, like, if we think of our chakras, like our base of our pelvis, our root chakra, and then coming up, sex chakra, coming into the sort of identity and heart to more expressive, working our way up our body. If we imagine that electrically within our body, the fluids are keeping these things all connected. And if we feel like we're kind of cut off in one of those places, just bring the hum in your imagination into that location, bringing it back online. You could also do hands on. You could start with a hum with your hands down on your pelvis and then just work your way up in as many breaths as feels good. Just working your way up through your body to connect. Even just touching the area can help bring that aliveness and vitality in on a deeper level. So I'm going to start with my hands down here. I'm on my pubic bone, my hip bones, my belly. And I'm still just going to work with the, am I going to work with it? Maybe. I'm going to start working with the hum, but I might start to open into more of a pedal breath, letting my mouth open and close with a sort of O sound. We'll see. So feel free to play with that in any way. It could also not be with sound. You could just be feeling into it, bringing your awareness into your lower pelvis and then working your way up. It doesn't have to be 7 spots. It can be anywhere. Just feeling into that system of that central channel and your chakras. And if you don't know what they are, it doesn't matter. Same thing. Just an area, moving up your body to feel connected. You could even do it in the back, feeling into the back, just adding a little bit of hands-on, a little bit of touch for that extra connection. Could think of that root chakra connecting down to the earth. The living energy of earth, the Gaia or Terra, Jord, if you're Norwegian. And then maybe the next chakra coming in with ancestors and all that has come before, sex chakra, creative life force. Coming into sort of protector and identity around your, just above your belly button, between your belly button and your, under your ribs. I'm just going to add an extra layer here. Like if we feel right, if we take our hands to both the edges of our ribs, we're going to hit our liver on one side, spleen is on the other, stomach is in there. Sometimes there's a lot of anger in there, so just naming that, the liver, anger, often go together. So giving that a little bit of extra loving with the hum. Coming into the heart. You can think of the heart also sort of as our like community and morality and our caring for ourselves and each other. So kindness for that heart area. So the heart is like, a big driver, the blood flow moving through our bodies. But the heart always feeds itself first. Coronary artery is there first, feeding the heart before it goes out to the rest of the body. So bringing that love, care, self-acceptance, deep, deep, radical self-acceptance into your heart. We're moving kind of quickly through all of these so that we'll have a little bit of free time with some music at the end, some free flow. Coming up to the throat and the neck and your expression, your truth, your word, coming up to that. No judgment here, right? No judgment. We're all here in this. Kindness for ourselves. And you could cross or not cross your hands or not touch, it's up to you. I think I'm gonna start to go with open, close, getting into the lips here. offering yourself forgiveness for all the things that you said and for all the things that you didn't say, right? Same thing. Total forgiveness for everything you said, for everything you didn't say. And for the enlightened teachers, all the people who have spoken truth that you have received from that throat chakra. So gratitude for that. Or the unenlightened teachers who taught you something anyway, right? The people who have taught, the people who spend time teaching. And those might be from the history or from your life or your spiritual teachers, your anybody doesn't, or people that are just the person who gives you that piece of sunshine in the day, right? It's interesting, now that we're up here, I'm actually starting to feel the vibrations down lower, like around my diaphragm and gut body. Taking it up to that, like this, so there's a diaphragm through your tentorum cerebelli, or I think it's called that, or cerebelli tentorum, something like that. And it's sort of tenting in, separating your upper head and your lower head, upper brain and lower brain, brainstem. And then we also have the two sides. So coming up here and right in here, if we go in, we have two things: the pituitary gland and the pineal, right? So right, going back in from our eyes, thinking of all that stuff in there. And that maybe is your intuition or your knowing or your imagination, your visioning. So tuning into that. I feel like I'm putting a little hat on. And then just above your head, enlightened energy. You can use your hands, no hands, whatever you want to feel. Just feeling the top of that channel moving up as far, like beyond your imagination as it goes. And also thinking of the connection back down to the earth, back down to the floor, back down to the everything that came before. So I'm going to see if I can put on my earbuds now, if they have got enough of a charge. And Kitty has gone up next to the computer. I'm going to share a sound.
And just give us a little bit of time to play with movement and music. Letting the music just inform your movement in whatever way feels interesting. We've been through all those things. You may want to go revisit one area, or maybe you're still in the first area. You can take as long as you need. We kind of raced through that, but we're just going to go along. Ambient Fields, Song 1, album number 4. Allowing the sound to inform your movement. The spaciousness of the sound. And imagining you're pouring yourself around, pouring your energy around, freeing it up. Deeply entering your experience. Of being in this moment, in this body, on this planet. With as much kindness and self-acceptance as you can muster. And just exploring what it is to be here now in this moment, in this body. With kindness, with forgiveness. Is there a way that you can be more supportive of yourself? Maybe it's simple, getting a little bit more sleep or drinking more water or making a phone call you got to make, get something off your plate, whatever. Or maybe just taking time to roll around on the floor. One thing about this heat is it doesn't make you want to go fast. So if you're in the East Coast heat wave right now, maybe enjoy some stillness or some slowness. allowing your own body to receive the earth, receive Gaia, Terra, Yord, Mother Earth. Inviting your body to let go of any extra tension you're holding on to. Just let it melt away. Letting your breath be as slow or as light, as soft as feels good. Giving yourself permission to fully enter your experience without any resistance. Entering like the viscousness of the moment, right? It's shifting and changing at all times, but it's the aliveness, this moment, our awareness, our experience in this moment. Nothing to fix, nothing to do, just being. Certainly nothing to force. Allowing your nervous system to receive the nourishment of the fluid body, the fascia, the fluid body, the nourishment of gentle movement, the nourishment of the gravitational pull of the earth, and the support of like our nervous system is routed through our fascia, right? So all of that fluid, all of that fascia, the fibrous matrix of our form is supporting our whole nervous system. Like being held by the most loving grandparent, only wants the best for you. For you to be happy, for you to feel good, for you to be healthy. This one today is just feeling particularly delicious. Might be the heat, like the languid, like slowness. But I'm gonna let that music come into a close. Give us a couple of minutes of just silence to land, to process the processing before going on with the day. Okay, I feel like for me that just was incredibly delicious. Landing in the sensation. Sometimes it's, we're working with pain or whatever, and it's like a little not the most delicious. But today there wasn't a lot of pain for me, so that was incredibly delicious. Stop recording. So anyone in TV land that joined in